evening is a little bit of beginners Pilates and mobility work that I do for a class that I teach on a Tuesday evening. So just find yourself a space, just pop this out the way. So just find yourself a space and just sort of see how you feel, see how you're standing, see just sort of where you're at. And then what I'd like you to do with your arms is bring your hands forwards and squeeze your shoulders together and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. So move the shoulders forwards and backwards, and that starts to get a bit of flexion and extension into the spine, just a small amount as you work forwards and backwards. Okay, so now I want you to do a little shoulder circle. So one side, and then we'll do it onto the other side. So really just mobilizing through the body, thinking about standing nice and tall. That's it. So this, I'd like you to bring the back of the hands together, palms up, elbows in. So if you bring the back of the hands together and imagine you've got a big gap in front of you, and then palms up, bring the elbows into your waist and lift the chest. So again, just moving through that, just increasing that mobility through the body. And just do one more of those for me. Okay, so just lateral flexion. So because this is a sort of a beginner class, what I tend to do is each move on its own, but then we do put them together as well. And then just let the thumb ride up through the rib cage. And this just helps to increase your range of movement each time. So as a beginner, we tend to just want to ease our way into what we're doing so that we can feel where we're going, because you've not done exercise before. So take the arm over, keep a bend in the elbow and just push the elbow up, and that just helps to stretch through the side. That's it. And this is really, really good, as I say, for lateral flexion. And then we do a little bit of rotation as well. So what I like to do is start off small again, increasing the range of movement. So as you pull the elbow back, just feeling that little bit of movement again in the lower back. So really, really super important. So then we just increase that by bringing the arm back. So you bring the elbow, reach the arm and sweep. And there you start to feel movement in the mid-back as well. And then we take that to rotation through the neck as well. So if you watch the hand go, you start to feel rotation through the rest of the spine. And again, really important so that we can get more movement, more mobility through our bodies. So just bringing that there. And then we take the movements to our hips here. So just putting your hands on your hips and circling the hips. Nothing very fancy. And then that again in turn just starts to help to move the back, move the hips. That's it. And then just forwards and backwards. So again, we do a tip and tuck, but sometimes it's just a forwards and backs push. But again, really important, just so that you can see how that feels. And then do a circle, and then back the other way. So starting to really feel that movement through the body. So then we just take it to the feet, and we pedal through the feet here. So again, just starting to bring movement into the ankles, into the feet. And then we start to bring that into the knees with a little baby squat. So the feet are a little bit wider. Just let the hands slide down the thighs and coming back up. So increasing and just moving through the body, that bit of mobility. And then we start to bring the breath and the movement into play. So here again, as you breathe in to prepare, as you breathe out, feeling that core activation. And I quite like to use the idea of a birthday cake. So you've got loads and loads of candles on, you've got 100 to be exact, and you're going to blow them all out. And this is using the body's natural system, so the respiratory system, the breathing system, to use and activate your core muscles. So you don't have to think about hollowing belly button to spine or anything like that. You are actually using the 4 main muscle groups of the core to activate your core. So as you breathe in, and then when you breathe out, so that lifts your pelvic floor, draws your tummy muscles in, your back muscles are stabilized, and your diaphragm. So then we put that movement with that breath with the movement, And the easiest way to do it is to also challenge the balance, is to come up on your tiptoes. So first of all, then just come up on your tiptoes and back down again. So here, getting a bit of work into the calf muscles, and then do that with the breath. So when you come up without the breath, without activating the core, you tend to be a little wobbly. So you breathe in to prepare, and then as you start the out breath, so at about 50 candles blown out, start to come up onto your toes, feel that stabilization through your core, and then as you breathe in, lower back down. So again, as you breathe out, so coming up, feeling that stabilization, and then as you breathe in, come back down. So one more of those as you breathe out, and breathe in. And then take it to taking the arms out. So thinking about, again, the breath. So if you lift both arms up, again, there's a tendency for the body to push forwards. So we're just going to take those arms up, or we can push them up, depending on where your shoulder joints are, on what they feel like at the moment. So they might be feeling a bit stiff and a bit achy, so pushing the hands up might be a good option. So you again, breathe in to prepare, and as you breathe out, so 50 candles blown out, and then as you push your hands up, feeling that core connection. So as you breathe out, and then your arms want to let your body go backwards, but because you've got your core engaged, it's keeping you upright, which is really hard work. And as a beginner, we tend not to be able to notice or feel those things just initially, just because we've never done them before. And just taking it at your own pace so that you can then feel that move is incredibly important. So let's take the arms out. So as you breathe in to prepare again, as you breathe out, so about 50 candles have been blown out. So now I'm blowing out more candles and really having to keep my core engaged so that I then don't lean backwards, and breathe in and release. And this is actually a really quite a hard workout, because you're having to think and breathe in a pattern so that it enables your core to be engaged. And then as you move on and you start to feel your core, you can move to one foot and we can take the arm out and just challenge ourselves that way, and take ourselves down onto the floor as well, which is really, really good fun. But if that was helpful or interesting, do leave me a message